So guys, I picked up a fake iPhone 15 Pro Max. That's right, this is selling on Amazon for $150. It's called the i15 Pro Max. And in this video, guys, I want to go ahead and take a look at this bad boy, compare it to a legitimate iPhone 15 Pro, Geekbench it, go to CPU-Z, see what's underneath the hood, and go through the whole entire review of this bad boy right here. We're going to see how good these cameras are, we're going to see how good this phone is in general, and let's get right into it. So starting off right away, when you unbox this bad boy, first thing you're going to see is, of course, the phone. Now, this phone very much resembles an iPhone 15 Pro Max, and again, with the i15 Pro Max as the name, it's very much the same. You get a screen protector in the box. You also do receive a plastic case, which I will tell you right now is probably the most cheapest case I've ever felt in my life. I feel like I break it every time I bend it. Like, this is just very, very cheap. If it's less than $2, I would not be surprised. You get a USB-C to USB adapter, not USB-C to USB-C, because, of course, you also get USB-C earbuds. Everything in this box, by the way, smells like death. Like, it smells so bad. Just a little side note there. Again, like I said, I would not recommend using these headphones. I would not recommend using that cable. And I would not recommend using this power brick right here, because I don't really have faith in it in any way possible. They do have an instruction guide that goes through the whole entire setup of the phone. And you might say, wait, that looks like iOS. Yes, guys, this i15 Pro Max comes with a launcher that looks identical to the iOS software. It's to a point where it is pretty much exactly the same. And that's what they're really selling you on. They want to sell you on the idea that this phone has iOS 17. Now they do tell you on Amazon it does come with Android 13, which is a lie, by the way. It comes with Android 10. Does not come with Android 13. It does, of course, come with a beautiful, as I said, 13 megapixel camera on the front, a 48 megapixel camera on the back. According to them, there's only one camera on the back, by the way. It's a 48 megapixel. So those other two lenses are completely fakes. By the way, the phone on the left you see here is a legitimate iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is my daily driver currently. So, yeah, it's a little bit different. Just a tad bit different. Going more into the specs, though, you do get a 6.8-inch 1440p display. You get 2+1 card slot. You get 12 gigabytes of RAM, plus 512 gigabyte storage, 6,800 milliamp battery. I'll tell you right now, standby time wise, this phone at best is gonna get you around 6 to 7 hours. At best, standby time is 6 to 7 hours. If you're using this phone every single second, you're probably gonna be hitting yourself in the head, because you are going to very, very, very luckily, I mentioned, is if you are able to get over 3 to 4 hours of battery. By the way, the volume rocker is so loose, it feels like it's going to fall off within seconds. You might want to use a case if you get this phone. You can see the bezels are not the greatest. And as always, when it comes to these fake phones, they have the automatic setup. It's set up automatically. Now in this video, we are going to reset this phone, completely go to factory settings, and I want to see what happens, right? I want to see if it actually goes through the process and if it actually does give us like a new launcher, potentially maybe an Android 10 launcher. But kind of going through, again, it does come with a Snapdragon 888 processor. It claims fingerprint unlock and also face unlock. Now, fingerprint unlock, I could not get to work. I could not get to work no matter what. I tried a couple times. It would not work. Face unlock, you're going to see later in this video. But now going to the cameras, I'm going to have on the screen here 2 different images. On the left is the legitimate iPhone 15 Pro Max. And on the right is the fake i15 Pro Max. I hope you can tell the quick difference. Now let's go into the video. This is the front-facing camera. Yeah, the motion on the fake one is really freaking bad. Yeah, the FPS on the fake one is almost to a point where it's embarrassing. Now, this phone claims, again, it's a 6.8-inch display. This is actually not a 6.8-inch display. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be. It's a 6.78-inch display, so a tad bit smaller. This phone does come with, again, an iOS launcher. It has all the regular apps that are pre-installed on this phone, and it just, they're meant to look like an actual iOS launcher. It does come with some apps pre-installed that you cannot get rid of. You cannot get rid of YouTube. You cannot get rid of TikTok, Twitter, SIM Toolkit, Face Unlock, and everything else you're about to see in a second. When you go to settings and you go to the About the Phone, this is what pops up. You can see it says i15 Pro Max, but it literally is just a menu page of what the exact specifications are on Amazon.com. So Amazon.com, they took it and they put it right here on this phone. So I find that absolutely hilarious. Also Netflix. And by the way, no, you cannot delete any of the applications that I'm talking about today. For some reason, they do not let you uninstall any of those applications. But yeah, so the settings page is just an About tab and it just literally gives you the whatever Amazon says, which I find funny. Now looking at CPU-Z, it does say it has a Snapdragon 888 processor. And I was like, holy crap, maybe this is not a lie. Well, you're going to see later when we Geekbench it, it was a lie. So I don't know how they tricked CPU-Z, because CPU-Z is actually a really good application to figure out fakes versus real phones. But if you go through the whole entire thing here, all of this stuff is showing you it's fake. This is not real. This is actually not legitimate. We went ahead and not only did I open up the phone and looked inside, by the way, this is all a lie. We also Geekbenched it. And again, like I said, you'll see all this at the end of the video. But this is not in any way what this phone's actually rocking. So CPU-Z, please fix your application. Fix, your stuff, because you are a very reliable source for a lot of people to see what is in these fake phones, and clearly, it's not working. Now, let's talk about the benchmarks, because I tried to benchmark this phone at first, and it did not work. By the way, this is my iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is the benchmarks for that phone. Just to kind of show you a little comparison. We're going to be looking at the comparison at the end of this video, because I finally was able to run a CPU benchmark and a GPU benchmark. GPU benchmark crashed my phone, but the CPU one took an hour and 30 minutes to go through, and it got stuck at 30% for about an hour and a half. So I had to, for an hour and a half, wait for this CPU benchmark to go through. Now, as you can see from Geekbench, it says the OS is Android 10. Now, anyone with clear eyes and glasses, or eyeballs in general, could tell that this was Android 10 based on the operating system and based on how slow it is. It's very obviously Android 10. So, yeah, you can see right here, I tried to run a Geekbench GPU one. I decided to cancel it because I want to do it off camera so that I don't bore you guys with the Geekbench. Again, like I said, we're going to look at the results after we do ourselves a beautiful hard reset. That's right, guys. We're going to be going ahead and going to settings. I went into settings. I went into reset, and I did a factory reset of this phone. So we're going to get into that now. And I'll be honest with you, I thought I broke the phone. I really did. Because especially when you install custom launchers like this, so this right here is technically speaking not a custom launcher. It's not a custom launcher with what you might think a custom launcher is. And when I reset the phone, by the way, it went into this screen, and then it went into powered by Android, and it was on this screen for 45 minutes. 45 minutes. So what I thought happened is, because it's not technically a custom launcher, what this is they unlock the bootloader, similar to what we did with the Surface Duo 1 when it comes to Android Windows 11. You unlock the bootloader and you install custom firmware. Or custom OS. That's pretty much what this is. Now, it's interesting, but this is why, again, I can't uninstall this launcher. I can't get rid of it. It literally is built into the phone's makeup. So when I went ahead and reset the factory settings, I really thought that this phone was broken. I was like, it's over, it's done with. There's no way this is going to actually ever work again, because I figured that when I restarted it, it would mess up and boot loop forever and ever and ever on this screen, because of the fact that they have a custom, OS or custom, OS installed. So I thought it was over, right? So I was like, okay, well, that was a great video. I wasn't able to actually benchmark it, which kind of sucks, because that was something I wanted to do in this video. But I was like, you know what? At least we got a point of the video where, this is something that we probably should not have done. I was thinking about picking up another one, maybe just to kind of get the benchmarks in there. But luckily, after 45 minutes of waiting, on this screen, I mind you, finally, I look over and we have ourselves a fully reset phone. So what does it look like? What is new? Well, the answer is nothing. Nothing. This is what the unlocked fully reset phone did. It deleted all my applications I had installed because the factory reset, and it just went right back to the same OS as before. So if I go to settings, same thing before. It says the same exact setup. Right here, it tells you the Amazon page, and everything is the same. It's Android 10. You can't update it past Android 10. The Face ID stuff is still the same. So I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and do the Face ID. Because a lot of these fake phones, the biggest problem with them is the Face ID is fake. And I mean fake as in, you could put anyone's face in front of it, and it will work. Now, I figured that this Face ID, by the way, shout out to me trying to get this screen, actually this keyboard to pop up, and it wouldn't pop up. At first I was like, I thought it was fake at first, because when you do an iPhone like Face ID, you have to move around your face and it like scans your whole entire face. But that was not the case with this one. It just takes a picture of your face. Now, I've tried other faces and pictures of me, and it does not open up. So it seems like it's actually legitimate. But if I take my glasses off, it doesn't unlock my phone. And you might say, well, why is that the case? Because, you guessed it, it only took a picture of me with my glasses on. So it only knows of me with my glasses on. Now, when it comes to this phone and Face ID and, unlocking the phone that way, it is the slowest system you will ever see in your life. It unlocks, it does, after like 30, 45 seconds. And, you might say, well, man, you're really ungrateful, bro, because nowadays that's really good, man. Nowadays you just have it good, right? Yeah. I've realized how bad it was to live in 2010 when this phone was out. So, according to Amazon page, they claim this phone gets 7.5 hours of video, 24 hours of music, and 200 hours of standby time with that 6,800 milliamp battery. Like I said before, right now, the phone, and as I'm recording this right now, is at 50% after an hour and a half. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the Amazon page for that said reason. Yeah. It's an amazing product, in all honesty. I mean, listen, is there any reason to actually buy this phone? Absolutely no. There is no reason at all. Like, you are better off just spending the extra money and going with something like a Galaxy S854 5G, the one I reviewed on the channel. I know it's $300, but you're getting an actual great phone. It just came out this year, and it's actually really freaking good. So this is more or less a joke. I did try to run a YouTube video, and by the way, we are getting to the Geekbench scores in a second, but I tried to run a YouTube video, and you can see I can't go anything higher than 1080p. At first, it was stuck on 140p, but it finally got me up to 1080p. But I can't go anything higher than 1080p, and you might say, well, why is that a question? Why is that the fact if it has a 1440p display? Well, because it doesn't. It has a 1080p display. It doesn't even have that 1440p. They could not inch out the extra money to give you a 1440p display. And here are the benchmarks, guys. GPU benchmark would not work. It froze, it broke, it glitched, it was a problem. But yes, this is probably the worst benchmarks I have seen in a very long time on a cell phone. Single core 179. That is just beyond sad. And it's not surprising, but still, it's beyond sad. So to end this video off, you already know if you've been watching the channel, I'm going to run Launcher 10 on this bad boy. Every single thing, even a Nintendo Switch, I ran Launcher 10 on. And I'll tell you right now, Launcher 10 on this phone actually works very well. It's very fast, it goes through a whole entire processes, everything is perfect running Launcher 10 on this phone. So, yes, can Launcher 10 run on this phone? Absolutely. So for those who say Launcher 10 is not a good launcher, I will tell you, you are incorrect. Because Launcher 10 can even run on the most dinosaur-ass fake iPhone 15 Pro Max. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.